What is cheat sheet? Not only am I going to tell you week after week after week why it is so fucking important that we vote for Joe Biden this year, but also we're going to provide you a cheat sheet to help elect progressive candidates down the ballot in all the swing states. Today's episode, Michigan. We are so excited here at Cheat Sheet to have our guest today. He performed for 5 years on Glee, where he was nominated for an Emmy for his original songwriting. Oh my God, dude. More recently, he won an Emmy and a Golden Globe for his incredibly frightening performance in the assassination of Gianni Versace. And when he won said Emmy, he became the first Filipino-American to win an Emmy for acting. Fucking yes, dude. He has performed all over the world and has performed for former President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, and our freaking dude here at Cheat Sheet, Joe Biden. Give it up for Darren Criss! Yo!
Man, when you say it with that much vim and verve, I suddenly do feel like I've done a lot.
So, Darren, I know that you love Michigan. You love Michigan so much that in your Emmys acceptance speech, you gave him a shout out. Go Blue.
I did.
Stop talking about it.
I think anybody that went to the University of Michigan, particularly if you're from out of state, you have this real kinship with your experience there. And I'm not from Michigan, but I have such an affection for the state for a variety of reasons. My dad moved there when he was a kid because my grandfather worked for GM and was in the mix during the sort of automotive boom of Detroit, of Motor City. So he was part of that. So I've always kind of been keen on the state. And as a musician, obviously, between the birth of Motown or Eminem or Jack White, there's just a lot of amazing culture that has come out of the state. You know, it is a famous swing state, and it is narrowly divided in its ideology because it's this very Midwestern place where you have, again, it's Midwest of both sort of predominant thought in the United States, because you have kind of the more conservative backcountry, more typical right-leaning thinking, but you also have these amazing epicenters of progressive thought and culture like Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Detroit.
Michigan. That is awesome. I am loving your love of Michigan.
It gets better. The state of Michigan is currently basically run entirely by women. The 3 top positions that one can have in office, the governor, secretary of state, and the attorney general, are all women.
Yes! How are you feeling about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
It's like, we don't have to talk about like a resume here. Like there's no question. Let's talk about like the greatest 8-year internship, summer internship for a future president. Like that just seems like it's so black and white to me.
I am stoked about these policies he's put forward. So he has this proposal to reduce homelessness with housing vouchers. And this is part of a plan to contribute to his larger plan of getting 22% of people out of poverty. Biden has supported a $15 per hour minimum wage since the start of his campaign. That could change people's lives. Federally, it's $7.25 per hour. Who's living on that and where? And in Michigan, it's $9.45 an hour. $15 an hour would change people's lives.
We gotta win by a motherfucking landslide.
We need everyone who can possibly vote, who is disgusted by Trump and his fascist ways, to vote for Joe Biden so we can get that dude out of there, the Cheeto in chief, get him out. He is not gonna leave unless it is so obviously clear, and it's not gonna be easy. November 3rd to January 21st, it's gonna be anxiety up the wazoo. Trump is gonna make our lives even worse during that time. We have got to say, dude, you lost. Look, it's gotta be undeniable. It's gotta be landslide.
Yeah, we have to win by a fucking landslide, not by these tiny margins which have sort of dictated a lot of these huge world events. It needs to be an overwhelming landslide, which I truly believe is actually representative of where our country is. We just gotta get those people voting.
We are the landslide. We can do it, and I'm starting to believe that we're gonna. I really am.
These kids are way smarter and on top of it than I was, and there's a load of them.
Let's check out the stakes. Michigan has always been a reliable state for Democrats at the state and federal levels, but Republicans won by less than 1% in 2016. Voter turnout between 18 to 24-year-olds was at 34% and 44% for 25 to 34-year-olds. Come on, let's get it to 60, 70, 80%.
It's not exactly like a mystery. It's like out there, and people have access to getting their vote in like relatively soon. No excuses, 18 to 29-year-olds.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get down to the down ballot candidates. So I'm sure you know about this one. Big ass race for U.S. Senate. We cannot lose this seat of Senator Gary Peters. He is running for re-election for a second term in the U.S. Senate. Democrats need a net gain of 4 seats to secure a majority in the Senate, which has been the biggest monstrosity and horror of the past 4 years, not the presidential performance.
Yeah, performance.
So we need to keep Senator Gary Peters in the U.S. Senate.
Keep Senator Gary Peters in the Senate.
For U.S. House is John Hoadley. He's running for re-election against a 17-term Republican incumbent. 33 years of this guy. This person has been in place. Get out of there. Enough. Get out of there. So this guy is the first openly queer person to run for Congress in Michigan. John wants to make sure Michiganders have access to quality, affordable health care, wants to protect the beautiful environment in Michigan, and most importantly, Michiganders' right to vote.
All I want is John Holy. I want John. I want John. I want John. Holy, holy.
Julia Pulver. She's a nice, cool nurse. She's running on a platform of universal health care, economic justice for all, civil rights, LGBTQAI+ rights, workers and immigrants' rights. I mean, wow.
I could sing a lot about Julia Pulver,
But I won't, because you should just, vote for her.
everybody, you gotta commit to voting, but it's not as important as
Making a fucking voting plan. Can't do one without the other. So make a plan.
A generative video has a simple format to make it easy to use your social media to talk about politics and government and humanize policy.
I'm Darren Criss. I grew up in San Francisco, California, and I ended up going to college in the great city of Ann Arbor, Michigan, at the famed University of Michigan, Go Blue. I love the Japanese language and Japanese reality television. I have an issue with the fact that it is not an accessible, understandable form of government and leadership. But what I do like is that it is nonetheless a democracy, and that there is places for me to be proactive within it if I so choose to be on top of my shit, pay attention, and be proactive. Biden must win Michigan and Pennsylvania. Also because he so easily can. That's what's so frustrating about swing states, to have such narrow margins. You're like, if it was totally offset, we would be having a completely different conversation. We would literally be trying to change minds. Voting is this incredible, fucking Hogwarts acceptance letter that you get, and you don't have to do fuck all. You just get it handed to you, man. And you can change history by just showing up and doing a few simple things. It's not that he has to win. It's that he has to win, and it can be done.
You are an American treasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I feel so cool getting to do this with you. You're amazing. Thank you for having me.
Feeling extra? If you are young and you are healthy, volunteer to work the polls this November. That is the best thing you can do to save our democracy. Power to the polls. See you next Tuesday, LOL, for the next episode of Cheat Sheet.